The market's feeling a little chilly today. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more honest content. So, starting off today, I'm going to be looking at Moonlight Chill here. Most of you guys might remember this card being a pretty famous hand trap. I mean, being able to just blank out a special summon monster, negating its effects, and then forcing your opponent to lose some life points if they choose to do anything with that monster. I mean, this card was pretty much a classic at being an annoyance for a little while, but these are $70 on the Starlights. That's not what we're here for. Of course, we have to move down here into our favorite section, the quarter centuries. And yes, it looks like QCR versions of the regular arts are 20s now, heading on up to 24 very quickly with a market price at 17. But it also looks like the alt arts you could get relatively cheap here. You can get these for like 16 on up to 20. So I mean, like, the alt art's trailing a little bit behind here on, the back burner. I'm not too, crazy about that, but I mean, this is one of those hand traps that does kind of rotate in and out of the formats. Original Echo versions still have a market price of, oh my gosh, Echo versions just got wiped off the market. Oh my. Well, Echo versions are worth more than quarter centuries, people. I mean, take a look at this. Once this light play's gone, you're at 20, 2. You go up to 24, and you just kind of accelerate up. That's so crazy. And it really does kind of prove that, like, the emphasis on OG first eds, especially, like I said, like Echo that came out during, peak COVID. I can understand why, those are doing well. But, I mean, the good news is, like, you can get alternate art PCRs, you can get alternate art platinums for under, like, $2 to $3 a piece. So it's not like this card's going crazy. It's just, we're in a really interesting situation now, just for people wanting to collect this card and have it for the meta. Centurion. So Elfnotes have been one of those little fun challengers we've had kind of being brought up in the meta because of Elfnotes. I mean, have we seen a, super hardcore run for it? Not really. I mean, this was a concept that was pioneered by the OCG. They did a lot of good work for it. But it just so happens that, like, these Centurion cards just have not recovered, or somebody's got a super secret idea walking around in the back burner for these. Right now, you're looking at $71 per copy of Stand-Up Centurion for collector's rares. The Legatias are 42s. Those have not recovered at all. Primeras, still 30 to 32. Trudeas, 13 listings at, $50. These had a market price at 30, people. The Oxwillas coming in at 36. Okay. Wake Up Centurions, still $11 QCR. Elmiths coming in $8, $9, $10. Legatia collector's rares, these are 10s. I mean, that's not terrible. But the point here is like, you're really starting to see the de-acceleration down here. Obviously, once you get into, some of the base rarity stuff, Trudeas are $7 for the secrets. Primera for Valiant Smasher is still 6 to 7. Poor Chimera. Nobody wants to acknowledge Chimera. Still $7 card. Trudea from Valiant Smashers, $7. Primera Secrets, $7. So, I mean, like, the base form of this stuff still has some good value. So, I think that this is truthfully something to keep an eye on. We're not sure, if there's some super secret Elfnote pile on the back burner. It wouldn't surprise me if someone has cooked up something a little bit interesting. This is the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, man. People like to come up with crazy ideas all the time. Speaking of Elfnotes, so Lucina's still are basically unobtainium for the Starlight rares, and it's crazy to me because you always love the Korean version. It's got to pop up, $40, but English version's 90 on up to 95. Ugh. That's expensive. Actually, how is our history in this going? 94, 99. Yeah, they do move. How's the rest of the Elfnote garbage doing? Tenia's $57. Those have calmed down a little bit. You can get the Birdie for $34. That's not bad. Regular Lucina's coming in at 22s. That's still kind of a decent number to be seeing. It looks like Tenia Ultras are $5. Okay, and the Birdie is 30 cents. All right, so you can get a whole core of this for 66 plus another 81. about $80 to $83 currently. I mean, you just gotta factor in those yield hand traps and you can get somewhere. Archfiend's Advent. So somebody out here's been trying to pencil this in and figure out this card, but I mean, like, it's Archfiend and Fiend. We're in Shining Sarcophagus territory right now. The thing is, when you're looking at this stuff, you gotta understand, players are wanting to approach and try out, X new idea. They see that Dark Magician Girl in the Shining Sarcophagus is kicking up advantage right now because, dare I say, a splash package to get a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon's pretty good. Your payoff for playing this stupid thing is you get to take control of an opponent's monster until the end phase. Okay, well, can I do anything with it? Yeah, you can. The monster just can't attack unless you control Shining Sarcophagus when this effect activated, which, okay, that's fine. Things that can take control of the opponent's cards and get them off of the field is a pretty important concept. And I think seeing something like this seeing play right now is very decent, to say the least. I want to talk about this for a second. Legend of the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the 25th anniversary. So you guys remember these booster boxes came in like a wrecking ball. Actually, let's go take a look at the history of this for 1 year. So there was a time back a year ago where these did hit $190. And then over time, they kind of bottomed back out down to $160 again, which is not all that surprising. And then you have the modern crawl back up to $187. But then you've just had over the last kind of week or so, these just started clicking over the $200 mark. Your last sold listing was 2 days ago at $215. And they've been slowly moving at $215. Now, I really do hate to say this, but the reality of the situation is there's just not a lot of these on the market. Like, there are 9 boxes left here from Kazam, and then, those have been eroding off. Ideal 808's matching at $215, but once these last 11 boxes are gone, probably in the next 30 days, you're going to hit the buffer back up to $240 here. Well, what happens when that's gone? You're eroding at $250. Supply and demand tells us that because this product is rare, and also we've been talking about the collector's market restarting. It's happening. We've already seen things like Ultimate Droplets, a lot more of the OTS Ultimate Rares have been kind of having their renaissance and resurgence right now because the secondary market is finally rebooting itself. We've left the quarter century era. Those cards are becoming rare, which actually is helping out the market. Full arts are starting, and it's showing that Konami's trying to make those pretty gosh darn rare. It's a balancing act right now, and it does look like it's working out decently well. So, yeah, LOB doing its thing. Leviair the Sea Dragon. This is kind of interesting. So, for these old quarter century cards, that have, application older formats. Also, I'm not going to lie to you, this card's still pretty gosh darn good. Having a level 4 monster is pretty strong. But these are $7 a piece, and as you can see, we did bottom out like $4 or $5, but we're starting back up on that backward slope here. Once again, when we look at these things, it's just slow grinds up. You want to watch these things go very slowly up because it shows that the market is actually recovering. Really? Speed Duel Magician of Faith? I guess I shouldn't be surprised about this one. The more that we kind of look at like these niche rarities of things, and you got to remember, Speed Duel's dead. All right, it's, they shoved it in a box that maybe someday we'll bring it back, but we all know what that means. Right now, $15 heading on up to $20. I guess if you're like an older GOAT player or something like that, this might be something that you might want to consider getting, but $14 is about it in terms of your sales. Sure. If I click all versions, this actually does give me the champion pack. Wow. Champion packs are $193. $13 on the Duel Saga versions too. Huh. I feel like Duel Saga, this is something I'll probably have to investigate a little bit later on, but I feel like we're at the stage now that Duel Saga is kind of aging into, fine wine. Like, the set already had one of the, contrary to popular belief, I believe Duel Saga had one of the coolest foil patterns that we've seen in this game. So I'm not surprised to see discussion with this, but I'll have to look a little bit more into that later. But what do you guys think about today's market? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.